A man steps into a red phone booth, unaware that the iron door behind him is slowly closing. He drops a coin into the slot to make a call, but the phone is broken and won't connect at all. Having lost $1, he feels a bit annoyed. Little does he know that the real horror is only just beginning. When he tries to leave, he discovers that the iron door won't open. Confused, he assumes it's some kind of childish prank that has temporarily trapped him inside. The sun beats down on him with unusual intensity, and the heat gradually makes him irritable. Fortunately, two office workers pass by. The man quickly taps on the glass to ask for help. They notice him and walk over, but his voice is completely blocked by the glass. Through gestures, however, they understand what he means. The two people pull on the door from the outside while the man pushes from the inside, trying together to force it open. After a while, the iron door still doesn't budge. The man then notices that their strange behavior has attracted a crowd of curious onlookers. The two people outside glance at their watches since they need to get to work. They can only leave for now. The man remains optimistic and smiles as he waves goodbye. In just a short time, more and more people gather around. Delivery workers stop to watch. White-collar employees on their way to work pause out of curiosity. They all want to see what this interesting situation is about. The spectacle even draws the attention of a strongman. After briefly inspecting the phone booth, the strongman decides to pull the glass door open. He is incredibly strong, but even when he uses all his strength, so much so that he actually breaks the door handle, the door still won't open. The crowd bursts into laughter at the absurd sight. Even the trapped man can't help but smile. Unwilling to give up, the strongman tries to prove himself. He gathers momentum and attempts to smash the glass with his body. The man inside thinks he's finally going to be saved, but after several failed attempts, the crowd laughs again. Ashamed, the strongman leaves. Since brute force doesn't work, skill must be the answer. An experienced repairman arrives. He carefully examines the phone booth but finds that there isn't even a single screw. There's nothing he can work with. Eventually, he spots a narrow gap and tries to pry the door open with a screwdriver. The gap is too small and he can't move it. He tries another gap at the top with the same result. With no solution left, the repairman reattaches the broken door handle to show that at least his skills are solid. Knowing the repairman has done his best, the man doesn't blame him. At that moment, he realizes that as more people gather, a miniature society has formed around the booth. A shoeshine man sets up shop to make money, vendors sell balloons, and some ill-intentioned people take the opportunity to steal food. Yet no one can actually help him get out. Exhausted, the man squats down to rest. Then in the distance, the sound of a fire engine can be heard. Someone has called the fire department. The man immediately perks up. The firefighters quickly assess the situation and circle the phone booth. Soon, they come up with a plan. They set up a ladder and prepare to break the glass from above. The man feels afraid. The shattered glass might fall on his head. Just as the firefighters are about to act, someone in the distance shouts for them to stop. The masterminds behind the conspiracy finally appear. Dressed in green uniforms, they claim to be employees of the phone booth company, saying they need to take the broken booth back for repairs. The man is completely confused. He was about to be rescued, so what is happening now? He tries desperately to stop them, but his voice can't pass through the glass. In the end, the man is taken away. The onlookers cheerfully reassure him, saying, "Don't worry, they'll get you out." Comforted by the crowd, the man feels somewhat calmer. He still doesn't realize how serious the situation is. Being rescued a little later seems fine to him. However, as pedestrians on the street stare at him, he begins to feel embarrassed. The truck drives farther and farther away, slowly leaving the city behind. When the truck stops at a traffic light, there happens to be a funeral nearby. The deceased lies in a transparent coffin, eerily similar to the man's own situation. He too is trapped inside a red phone booth. At the next traffic light, the man finally realizes something is wrong. He sees another person trapped in the same kind of phone booth. Only they can truly understand each other's suffering. There can't be such a coincidence. The man finally understands. It's a conspiracy. He pounds desperately on the glass, begging the driver to let him out. When the driver ignores him, he frantically tries to get help from passers-by. But since his voice can't be heard, people think he's just waving hello, and happily wave back. Thirsty, hungry, and exhausted, the man loses all his strength and collapses in despair. The truck continues on, reaching a desolate, barely inhabited area. He thinks of his family and takes out his wallet. Looking one last time at the photos of his wife and son, he recalls what happened that morning and can't understand what he did wrong. Just then, a military helicopter appears overhead. Using his last bit of strength, the man begs for help. Although the helicopter clearly sees him struggling, it flies away. It turns out the helicopter is there to guide the truck. Even a military helicopter has been deployed. What exactly is going on? Why would they abduct an ordinary civilian like him? Led by the helicopter, they arrive deep in the mountains, where a tunnel appears at the end of the road. The truck drives inside. The flickering lights make everything even more terrifying. Inside, a group of people are assembling phone booths that cannot be opened, then shipping them out. Each booth represents a human being who will be imprisoned. Finally, the truck stops. The man has reached his destination. In terror, he looks upward as a crane slowly lowers a suction device, lifting him along with the phone booth and placing it onto a conveyor belt. As the belt moves forward, the man falls into complete despair. In front of him are countless others trapped just like him. Their fates are sealed, they will all turn into piles of white bones in hopelessness. Meanwhile, outside, workers place a brand new phone booth back where the crowd had been earlier. Will someone fall for it again? Will people ever notice the problem? The movie ends here. Why create such a phone booth? Why let people die in despair? What is the film really trying to say? Perhaps even the director can't fully explain it. He simply presents us with an intriguing story. One very clear concept in the film is that once the man is trapped inside the phone booth, his voice can never get out. Because of this, when he tries to call for help, people on the street can't understand him. When he doesn't want to be taken away, no one hears him. When a person has no voice, no one can truly understand or help them. The onlookers are merely watching a farce. The only person who understands the man's situation is the one who shares the same fate. The only people who can truly understand you are those who are trapped just like you. The film has many other fascinating elements as well. It all depends on how you choose to interpret it.